Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the things I really don't like, or some would even say hate, about the Firebird. So to start off, it's the headlights, guys. I love them, we love them, they look so sweet, but the functionality is not there. However, mine do function perfectly fine currently, but I've heard a lot of stories about people in the past who have had one go out or both go out, or they go up and not going down, and just all sorts of problems like that. But that's kind of the price I'm willing to pay for owning this car. But on to the next thing, the paint quality. As you guys all know, it's a 90s car. The paint isn't gonna be that best, but it's honestly a really big improvement from the early and mid 90s Firebirds and Camaros, or honestly the GM cars in general. But as you can see here, there's plenty of imperfections. Like this guy's a little bit of clear coat right there, and if you can see here, there's a little bit of bubbling on the sail panel here. I don't know if you guys can see that in the video, but like if you compare this to a new car, it's not even close. Another thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is the interior quality. As you guys all know, early 2000s, late 90s GM cars and trucks, dash cracks, door cracks, seats kind of wearing out a little bit. I want to see if I can get some glue on that, or tape. And right here as well. It's kind of too bad. But I mean, despite being 6'3", I actually am pretty comfortable in the seats. Like long road trips, not bad actually. So not too much to complain about there. Another thing is the headliner. Fortunately, I'm very fortunate that my headliner is perfectly fine. Also, thanks to not being T-tops. I kind of wish I did have T-tops, but that's all right. Like that, not the best quality. Another thing is the seats and body panels and door panels rattle a lot. So like with the new subs I put in here, this panel tends to rattle around a bit. And like the leather seats as well. Stuff just isn't the greatest quality, but that's all right. Another annoying thing is when you go to pop the trunk, sometimes it doesn't pop up all the way. This time it did, of course, so I can open it. But there's been instances where I hit the button, it pops open, but it's still latched somewhat, so I have to go walk around again and go pop it again so I can open it. But aside from that, it is pretty nice actually that there's a keyhole for the trunk, so you could just take the key and go open it. But it would be kind of annoying if your car's already running and the key's in the ignition, so you have to take the key out, go open it. So it's just kind of a hassle, but it's not that big of a deal. It hasn't been that much of a problem for me personally, but some people don't like it. Another thing I don't like about this car is the spoiler. This thing kind of looks a little goofy. Like, you look at it this angle, it's not covering the whole back end there. It's just kind of too short in my opinion. Like if you compare it to the Trans Am spoiler, it actually lifts up and there's an air gap in between the taillights there and the spoiler. But honestly, it looks decent enough, so I'm all right with it. I think GM definitely could have done better, but hey, it is what it is. Aside from the spoiler being the base model, of course it is a base model, it's the bumper for me. It doesn't look quite as mean as the Trans Am, but for the price, it's all right. The Trans Am's over double the price of the base models here. The Trans Am has like the two slits and not these circle running lights and fog lights. But honestly, it gets the job done. So for the price, I don't think I can complain too much. Another thing that I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's all right, is the fact that I have an automatic. I really did want a manual, but this was honestly the best 4th gen V6 Firebird for the price. But aside from that, another thing I really dislike is the power antenna. This guy gets stuck all the time, especially in the winter. It freezes up, doesn't want to go up, doesn't want to go down, all that jazz. But what's even worse is these windows and the power locks. absolutely horrendous. Like, for instance, my driver's side is okay and auto works, but the passenger side is absolutely terrible. It's so slow. It does not like to go up or down, especially going up. It struggles to get up all the way, and sometimes it doesn't. But for me, the power locks on my specific car have been fine. Like the fob and all that, it's been good. But I've heard that's a pretty common issue on these F-bodies. Another thing, the handbrake. Me personally, mine is pretty strong, pretty good, but I've heard that's also another issue for these F-bodies. Another thing here, let's go under the hood, is honestly, it's kind of a love-hate thing, but it's where the engine sits. It's so far back. So that kind of makes the car handle pretty well, but it's just so difficult to work on. So like you only have the first 2 cylinders right there that are in front of right here at the end of the hood. But the rest of them are back there against the firewall. On the LT1 and LS ones, it's even worse because that's even more far back. But the V6 is still pretty bad. So like you got to change spark plugs, you got to do intake gasket. It's going to be a pretty good amount of work, and it's going to take a long time just because of how far back the engine is. But anyway, despite all the bad, the oil filter is still pretty easily accessible, being right in the front right there. So oil changes are actually pretty easy in this car. Next thing is the shocks. The shocks on my car are absolutely shot. They are pretty much non-functional at this point. So cars going over bumps is pretty cushy, pretty fluffy, kind of like a 90s Buick almost at the moment. So someday soon I'd like to get new shocks for this guy. Another thing that's kind of annoying, but it's really not that big of a deal, is parking this guy. The hood is so long, and so that makes it kind of difficult to see where you're at least when you're pulling into spots. Backing in is a little better, but as you see here, it's like go straight and then drop off immediately. So you kind of just have to be mindful when you're backing into places so you don't hit anything. But that's honestly not that bad. Another thing is the rear end. The rear end on these cars are not the best. I don't know if you can see it in here, probably just looking at the muffler. But anyway, the rear end on these cars is not the greatest. So, but on the V6, it's all right because you only have 200 horsepower, 225 torque. But on the V8s, the LT1 and the LS1, you got over 300 horsepower. So you got to be careful with these guys. They tend to go out pretty easily. So that would be definitely a great mod for the V8 cars. But honestly, aside from that, yes, this car does have its flaws. Yes, it's not the best car, but bought it for $6 grand, so I really can't complain. Honestly, this car has been great for me, and I honestly don't regret buying it. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, and hey, let me know in the comments down below if you want to see future videos similar to this, or like a buyer's guide, or honestly, you guys let me know what you want to see. So anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.